Hello, I am reading from the book The Demon's Narcissist, Short Stories by Lyric Hawk. I am on number 9, The Hollow Mirror. When Rachel met Ethan, it was like stepping into a dream. He was charming, attentive, and seemed to know exactly how to make her feel special. Their first dates were magical. Long walks under city lights, deep conversations about life and dreams, and the way he looked at her as if she were the only person in the world. "You're incredible," he'd whisper, brushing a stray hair from her face. "I've never met anyone like you." Rachel believed him. She fell fast and hard, ignoring the little voice in her head that whispered caution. The shift. At first, Ethan's quirks seemed endearing. He had strong opinions about everything, from where they should eat to what they should wear. "That dress doesn't do you justice," he'd say with half a smile. "Try the blue one. It makes you look stunning." She wanted to please him, to keep the spark alive. But over time, his suggestions turned into demands. "You're really going to wear that? Don't embarrass me in front of my friends." "You wouldn't understand. It's not your thing." Rachel found herself walking on eggshells, constantly second-guessing her words and actions. The compliments she once adored became rare, replaced by backhanded remarks that chipped away at her confidence. The isolation. Ethan began to take control of her life in ways Rachel hadn't anticipated. "Why do you need to hang out with your friends so much?" he asked one night as she was getting ready to meet her best friend, Emily. "You have me now. Isn't that enough?" The guilt in his voice was palpable, and Rachel canceled her plans. It became a pattern. Slowly, her world shrank until it revolved entirely around Ethan. When Emily called to check in, Ethan would smirk as Rachel hesitated to pick up. "You're so much better than those people," he'd say. "They're just jealous of us." The gaslighting. Arguments with Ethan always felt like losing battles. "Why are you so sensitive?" he'd snap when she tried to express how his words hurt her. "That never happened," he'd say when she brought up something he'd said just days before. "You're imagining things. Probably you should see someone about that." Rachel began to doubt her own memory, her own feelings. Was she overreacting? Was she really the problem? One night, after Ethan berated her for spending too much time at work, Rachel found herself apologizing. She didn't even know what she was apologizing for anymore. She just wanted the fighting to stop. The breaking point. The breaking point came on their anniversary. Ethan had promised her a romantic evening, but he spent most of the night on his phone, scrolling through social media and laughing at messages. "Ethan," Rachel said softly, trying to hold back her frustration, "can we just have one night where you're present?" He looked up, his face darkening. "You're so clingy. Rachel, do you know how exhausting it is to deal with you?" The words hit her like a slap. For the first time, She didn't shrink. Instead, she stood up from the table, her heart pounding. I'm done, she said, her voice trembling but resolute. I can't do this anymore. Ethan's expression shifted instantly. Wait, Rachel, he said, his voice suddenly soft and pleading. I didn't mean it. You know I love you, right? Please sit down. Let's talk. But this time, Rachel didn't let him pull her back in. The aftermath. Leaving Ethan was the hardest thing Rachel had ever done. She spent weeks questioning herself, replaying their relationship in her mind, and battling the lingering whispers of his voice in her head. But as the days turned into weeks, she began to feel something she hadn't felt in years. Freedom. She started reconnecting with old friends, rediscovering hobbies she'd abandoned, and finding joy in the little things Ethan had once dismissed as unimportant. One evening, Rachel stood in front of her mirror, studying her reflection. For the first time, she didn't see someone who was too emotional, too needy, or not enough. She saw someone strong, someone who had survived. She smiled, a quiet but powerful reminder that she was finally free from the hollow mirror Ethan had held up to her. And that is the end of this story. The Hollow Mirror. Thank you for listening. I love you all. Bye.